What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Let's get right into it. And I want to bring you a video today discussing my thoughts on Sean Payton going to the Broncos. So let's talk about it. So I'm not one to really grade trades. I used to back in the day. I kind of got off that, so I'm not going to grade a trade here. But I don't like the trade for Sean Payton. If you've been following my channels all this year, I've been on Sean Payton heavy. I truly believe he could have been a head coach of the Chargers or the Ravens or the Browns this season if Harbaugh, Staley, or Stefanski, one of those guys would have got fired, right? And I've been making prediction videos all year, starting from September, excuse me, all the way to just last week. I said Sean Payton. Well, the first one was Sean Payton to the Chargers. The Chargers had a pretty early struggle to their season. I thought Staley would have been fired at the end of the season. And it went from the Ravens. I did a video on that later on during the year, and the list goes on. But I did a video just last week on a prediction video on Sean Payton not going to coach this year because I thought every team had their first two or three options already set up. I didn't think Sean Payton would be a lesser option to one of these teams. And the Broncos, as we seen yesterday. Well, it's been conflicting reports from Rappaport and from Schefter, but it's been reports saying Payton was even the second or third option. He was dang near the third or fourth, depends on who you talk to. The rumor was uh, the Broncos ownership and big dogs went to visit Harbaugh last week. The other word is they want Dan Quinn. The other word is that they wanted D'Amico Ryans. It's like, man, Payton Payton took a job he was like fourth string in, like the fourth option. But there was opportunities as well and moments the last couple of weeks to a month or so saying Payton was the first option for the Broncos. So I'm not sure where he was at once it was finalized. But I mean, he's obviously the option now. He's their coach. But prior to being finalized, I don't think Payton was the first option. So it's making me feel like honestly Payton was kind of. I really feel like Payton rushed into this job. Honestly, I really do. I think he felt the pressure of missing out this year, um, and it just felt like, man, you could have waited and just waited one more year and just waited for a better opportunity. Because as I said, the three teams I mentioned earlier, Browns, Chargers, Ravens, I believe one or two of those jobs will be open next year. That's why I did my video last week on Payton not being a coach this year. I thought he'll continue to be patient. I thought he'll wait it out, and I thought he would go to one of those three squads mentioned because I really see Stefanski and Staley on their last legs. I really do. I think hiring Kellen Moore, was a desperation move, and firing Joe Lombardi for Brandon Staley, also giving up, the biggest playoff loss and comeback loss in history was terrible on his resume, for Brandon Staley. I think Stefanski, I said before as well in a prior video, I think Stefanski's scheme isn't the best for Deshaun Watson. And what if they have a bad record next year? I think he'll be gone. And then I've been on John Harbaugh's butt for the last couple years. I think he's not. No, I think he's a cool coach. His team wins, but he hasn't been to the title game, the Super Bowl, or even the AFC title game in a good long time. I think it's time for a new change there. But some Ravens fans agree, some disagree. But I really just think Sean Payton just settled. I really do. I did videos as well, him going to the Broncos months ago. I didn't really like it. I really didn't think Payton would hitch his wagon to Russ. I really didn't. I didn't see it coming. And Russ, even the thing is, what makes me think Payton rushed it. I mean, the Broncos have a good team. Don't get me wrong; their roster is pretty solid. They got a young stud corner in Patrick Surtain, this the second. They got Justin Simmons. They got Browning, the pass rusher. Now he was an inside linebacker. Now as a pass rusher. They have Judy. They have Sutton. They have Dolchik at tight end. They got Tim Patrick, Hamler. They got Williams at running back. They got a decent squad. The squad isn't bad at all. But even if you turn Russ around, right, and Russ get back to playing pretty good, I don't see them winning their. I don't even see them winning their division anytime soon. Plus, I don't even see them being a wild card team. Just in your division, alone with having the Chiefs and the Chargers, you have the potential of going 0-4 every year for the next couple years. This Chargers team is stacked. This Chiefs team is stacked. And they're going to get even better because I think, once Juju leaves this offseason, Nicole Hartman probably leaves this offseason, I think there's a possibility they could trade for Devontae Adams. Not Devontae Adams, excuse me, DeAndre Hopkins. I really do. I really do. I did a video, top 5 landing spots for DeAndre Hopkins months ago. And I definitely think the Chiefs are on that list. They love to reinvigorate themselves. They love to change things around. And I think that could be a big option there. But even if they don't, I think the Chiefs will be fine. They're a top-notch team. They're tough to beat. And they're the real deal, obviously, as we see them in the Super Bowl once again. Then let's say the Raiders get Tom Brady. even if not Tom Brady, I think they're going to get Jimmy G. But let's say they do get Jimmy G or Tom Brady, a legit quarterback who wins games. And no shot at Derek Carr. I do like Derek Carr. But you have the potential of going 0-6. You have the potential of going 1-5, 2-4 in your own division. It's tough. I think Sean Payton really rushed it. I really do. I think Sean Payton just felt like he got to get in this year for some weird reason. And I think he rushed it, man, because the Broncos team is good. But when you hitching it, your wagon to a guy like Russ, who hasn't played well in a couple years now, not just last year, not just the year prior. So that's two years already. 2022, 2021. Even though he was hurt a little bit in 2021, he didn't play well either. The last time Russ played well was in 2020. Come on, man. Come on, man. I just I don't know. And like I said, I've been hyping up Sean Payton all season, all last off season. I really have, and it just makes me feel like Payton just rushed it. I really do. I think he rushed it, and or Payton just wants to. He wants the praise from fixing Russ. But does fixing Russ bring you a Super Bowl? I don't think so. I don't think they're good enough. And they trade away so much assets just to get Russ, just to get Peyton. The cap space is going to be high pretty soon for the Broncos. They got to pay Surtain. They got to pay a couple other guys soon. It's like, man, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't understand what Peyton was thinking, honestly. If he was just waited one more year, you could have got a shot at the Browns, the Ravens, the Chargers, Cowboys, maybe. The Commanders, and as I said, every team isn't better. I mentioned every team isn't better than the Broncos. Don't get me twisted, but they are more. They are more concise quarterback openings than Russ, because Russ is tricky. Russ is in a contract for a while. Russ getting big money, big cap hit, every year for the next couple years. Unlike the Commanders, you could maybe next year you could pick your own quarterback. I don't think they're going quarterback in this year's draft. Just like the Cowboys, you at least have Dak, who I believe is better than Russell Wilson. You got CeeDee Lamb, you got Trayvon Diggs, you got either Tony Pollard or someone else new at a running back. You got Schultz. You got a decent squad. So there's a bunch of teams out there I think could have been better for Sean Payton, but he decided to hurry up and rush and go to a job who didn't even want him as a first option. So we'll see what happens, man. But I really do think Sean Payton kind of rushed it this year with going to the Broncos. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe he can turn this team around to a real contender sooner than what we all think. So wish him the best. But I think he kind of messed up here, buddy. I think he did. But that's it for the video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.